Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. We've got a laptop here trying to click a button. We've got cameras here, lights there, makes here, but we're here eventually. A couple of minutes in. Thanks for joining us on the Magpie Channel podcast, episode 61.
61?
61 of these bad boys for you lot. So make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll get stuck into it. We are Anarchy Brewery as per usual. Take it easy tonight. Little trailblazer, non-alcoholic thing. That's a great design, by the way, isn't it?
Fantastic, isn't it?
Doing a shoey.
Like, drinking Baileys from a shoe. Love that.
But it is absolutely boiling outside. I've just had
Boiling
some strands, so I need to wash that doing. But let me know how you are doing. Good to see you all tuned in already. We've got loads of transfer news developing as the bloody seconds tick by, Keg. I'm sure we may have some even breaking news on tonight's show. Even right now, we're getting more and more because this name has popped up once again. Remember this one from a couple of years back? Hugh Get Your Ticket.
Bloody hell. Again.
Got Fabrizio Romano here.
Yeah.
Saying that Newcastle United are interested in signing Hugo Ekitike. He wasn't even on the list of the new striker targets that have been revealed that we're going to talk about, which is the title of the podcast. He wasn't in it. But my days, that's a mad link from Romano, to be honest. And I don't really get it because Frankfurt are apparently holding out for like 90 to 100 million. Chelsea are interested in him. Manchester United. So I can't see us paying that much and him coming here just to play fiddle Isaac, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, be a top sign. He's obviously an exciting French prospect.
Yeah.
He's got loads of potential and stuff, but are we really going to pay that much? Al Hilal have also called in recent weeks, but his priority is Europe. Hugo Ekitike, then, is that a realistic one, Keg? We're just going to get stuck into it, people.
You know what it is? It could be because you know what Eddie Howe's like and the rest of like the stuff, like to go after that target. It's like once identified, the gun for them, like Alanga. Like, you know, Alanga's been a long-term target and we've pushed for him and now we're going to get him. Same with Trafford. Seems like that's going to get done in the next couple of weeks. We're supposedly back in for Gahey. Like, he's been on the radar for donkeys. Ekitike, I'm sure we've had deals agreed twice and he's turned it down. Like, I think the first time he wanted to stay wherever he was in France, wasn't he? I can't even remember where he was. It wasn't Saint-Étienne, was it?
It was at because then he went to PSG, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember where the hell he was, but Nice?
Was it Monaco?
Nice? I don't know where the hell he was, but anyway, he was there. He turned it down. He was still young. He was just like, I think he just broke through that half season, so he'd only had a handful of games in the French league. He was only like 18 or something, maybe he's even younger. Decided to stay, fair enough. But then we went in again the following window, had it agreed, fee agreed. Here we go for Fabrizio Romano.
Here we go.
But then he decided that he didn't want to move to England. He wanted to stay in France and then got an offer from PSG and took them up on that. Then a couple of years later, he's went on to have a really good... He's moved to PSG, was a bit shit, to be honest. Should have came to England. Never mind. Could have been well on your way to a good career by now. But then he went to Germany and has had a pretty good career, to be fair. Now his transfer value's rocketed. Great. I can't remember what we agreed. It was about 30 million or something. Even when he was like 18, wasn't he? Like,
bit of an unknown entity back then.
He was,
I think he had a good like 6 to 9 months, and it was Monaco. People are confirming there.
It was Monaco.
Someone said Rems. So
Ren? No, it was Ren.
Was it Rems?
I'm sure it was Ren.
Oh well.
Anyway, but yeah, like a few years have passed, and he's gone on to have himself a pretty good career. Still young. Only got to be like what, 22? Is he 23? Maybe
he's flying in Germany.
Yeah, but he's doing really well, and obviously Frankfurt rate him highly enough to slap a big fee on him. Depending on whether it's worth it or not, because like you say, he's going to be playing second fiddle. But also we're going to get onto strikers in a bit. But I feel like most strikers are going to get game time here. Like obviously because we've got such a busy season, and now Callum Wilson's gone, which we'll also get onto. But yeah, like we need another striker. Like we're not deep enough at that now. Wilson's gone. Even if Wilson was still here, we know he had injury issues, so we could still have even maybe he's done one there. So maybe even two, just to kind of beef up the squad a little bit, just a bit more rotation with Champions League. Like we're going to be playing about 60 games this season, so
easy.
It's a lot. Isaac has his injury troubles. Like once he gets like his fitness is knocked, like it takes him a few weeks to like get back into it. Like like he struggles with fitness and injuries and stuff. So yeah, whoever's going to come in and play second fiddle, I reckon you're going to get loads of minutes, like in the cups and whatnot. So like weekend games once we play Champions League, like there's a lot of minutes to be had for a so-called inverted commas backup striker. Like, you're going to get a lot of minutes. So that's something that needs to be looked at. Obviously, everyone needs to understand that when we've got an important game like a Champions League game or a cup final or whatever, and Isak's fit, well, healthy, in form, you are second fiddle. You ain't number one, and you're never going to be. But that being said, like, you're going to get plenty of minutes. So that's something that they need to weigh out between them and their agent and their families or whatever. They need to think about, is it worth it? Yeah, we can offer you Champions League football, which is great. But yeah, you're going to be playing second fiddle for the majority of the season. But that being said, you're going to play a lot of football as well. So it's a difficult one. But yeah, are we going to pay money for that kind of person? Like, whatever they're like, if they're saying 90 to $1 million, you can fuck clean off. That's not going to happen.
No way.
If we're all constantly being quoted 50, 60, if we can strike a deal for 60, for example, for argument's sake, is it worth paying 60 million for potentially backup striker? Like, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is a lot, like, but when you said there that they will get a lot of game time, it is very important. And for me, what I'm starting to realise is, yes, because if Isak gets injured. If Isak gets injured, then we're on knackered.
Oh, yeah.
And we know he does struggle with injury records. Like you said, there's going to be at least 60 games next year. Could even be upwards to 80 if we get far in competitions and that. So I think it is a bit more of a priority now, and people are realising that. The club definitely realise it. The club definitely want that. We're going to sign João Pedro for 50, 60 million, won't we? So the links that we'll get into soon that have been out there the last couple of days, we'll talk about them. But that Icky one is breaking. It is right that he was at Reims, and then PSG did sign him for that 35 million euro fee. Didn't quite work out from there. He just had a 25 games, 3 goals.
And he was there with in the season with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe as well. So I wasn't going to get a lot of game time there, was he? But his experience would have been good. I mean, the lessons that he would have learned from that, and he wouldn't he's flying now. Like, it was probably a good move from him in hindsight. Like, yeah, you won't get loads of game time, but you were like 19 years old, playing with 3 of the best players in the world, in history, with Messi. Like, some of the best players in fucking history, in one goal. Like, you were there as their kind of like understudy, learning like the lessons he could have learned in that season or whatever he was there. Fucking untold. Like, absolutely class. So, yeah, fair enough.
Invaluable learning off the old Messi at the training ground, that, right, to be fair. And 15 goals in 33 appearances at Eintracht Frankfurt. That's as he signed. He was on loan at them first, and he had 4 in 14. He's doing well in the Bundesliga. He's caught attention from a whole host of European clubs. The loads in the Premier League have been keeping tabs on him, calling, asking about him. And now, according to Romano, Newcastle United is one of those. Like we've just been saying, though, I think it will be a hard deal to get done.
It will be hard,
with the club, first and foremost, Frankfurt, for the money they'll want. And secondly, with Ekitike himself, because he's probably going to want to be the main man. Yeah, the star of the show and stuff. So
possibly. But is he going to be? Like, who else? Like, Chelsea, piss clean off.
They'll get
14 strikers. So I'll be the main man. Yeah, I'll be fighting competition for 2 of the new strikers. I can imagine how pissed off Liam Delap is.
Well, look, he had options. Could have went to Man U. Could have went to Newcastle. Chose to go there.
He probably got told, like, oh, you can come here, you can be the number 9 and be our number 1 striker. Or then we've just spent 60 million on João Pedro. We're going to spend 90 million on Ekitike. We're going to bring Ronaldo back. We're going to get everyone. We're going to sign Drogba. We're going to do it's sound like no worries. I'll just pay 14th choice striker then, no worries.
Chelsea are going to be having a striker for each competition, right? When they said Delap was the main man, I think they meant Carabao Cup.
And
then FA Cup, João Pedro, and then Premier League, it's going to be Ekitike. So there you go. And then Drogba's going to be Champions League.
Yeah.
Big up to Richard, who became a member there before and said, very nice comment there. Best Toon fan YouTubers by Country Mile. Thanks very much for that one, Richard. Appreciate that. So we'll kind of jump the gun on the title of the video there by getting stuck into it early because we wanted to give you that breaking news on Ekitike, and there could be more breaking news once the Elanga deal is officially announced by the club. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes. And other bits of transfer news that's been happening, Keg, is everyone who's a right winger or a winger is worth 55 million these days.
Yeah, bank standard. As
we got here and we're talking, Arsenal are in discussions with Chelsea for Madueke for 50 odd million. Mohamed Kudus is going to Tottenham. That's been agreed. 55 million for him. He's going to have his medical tomorrow, I think they said, ahead of it. Was it 6-year contract?
6-year on Kudus. Yeah.
So loads of names that were obviously linked with Newcastle in the past. Your Madueke, your Kudus we talked about the other week on the show.
Your Elangas.
We're now know obviously we're getting Elanga, but every single one of them
55 million.
55 million. What do you make quickly of those? A couple of players that we've been linked to going to other Premier League rivals, I guess. Well, mainly Arsenal, Spurs are.
Well, you can't sign everyone. I like all of them. Like we've done podcasts about each of them. I think even just like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, we've done a podcast on wingers and potential wingers. I rate all of them. Best of luck to them in their moves. Like I think kudos, especially going to a team like Tottenham.
Kudos.
A bit of an upgrade from West Ham, despite last season, despite the absolute shambles down at Tottenham last season.
Tightest shambles.
Arsenal for Ekitike. Madueke, pretty good move. Best of luck to them. I mean, again, like main targets, we obviously identified Alanga a long time ago. He was our number 1, and we've fought for him, and we're getting him. So obviously, we're not going to fight for anyone else. Like, there's no chance that we would sign Kudos or Ekitike. Why do I keep saying Ekitike?
Because we're tapping for the first time. It's not far off. Ekitike, Madueke, all the K's.
So Madueke, Kudos, we wouldn't have signed them once we'd landed Alanga. There's no point doubling up. We're not Chelsea. We're not going to have 14 players per position and spend 55, 60 million on every single one of them as well.
No,
we're not that stupid. So, with Alanga almost being across the line now, then wherever they go, best of luck to them. But that's not our problem anymore.
I think it shows when people were questioning the fee for Anthony Alanga, even more so now for me that he's worth it. Because Madueke, I think Alanga's a much better player than him. I think he's shown that. And Madueke is getting the England team now, so that's obviously upped the price a bit.
Yeah.
And then, who's the other one we've been talking about?
Kudos
as well. Yeah, he's a bit popular for me. Like 1 week, he looks like a world beater. Next 5-10 games, he's just can't be asked.
Yeah.
So, as much as he's been exciting signing, he is a top talent on his day. He wouldn't have suited our style of play at all, our system at all. And he does just suit Spurs. I think that work. Them type of players like with him, James Maddison, look really good, and you think, wow, they're class players, and then they'll just do nothing for about 5 weeks.
And Kulusevski.
Kulusevski. Like these players that they have to be in the mood for it. 1 week they look brilliant, next week they just look like they're not interested and hate playing football for it.
Yeah, well, we did say that about Kudos a few weeks ago. And I think West Ham were trying to quote like 90 million, like 80, 90 million. I'm sure they were trying to quote us. But like I say, like sometimes he's in the mood. Sometimes he looks world class. Sometimes he's not into it. He's got a bit of a temperament as well. He's a bit fiery. Got himself sent off last season for something silly, didn't he?
5-game ban against Spurs.
That was
stamping on someone, wasn't it? I think?
Yeah. So like I say, if you're going to play in Eddie Howe's front 3, you need to be up for it week in, week out. No debate. Like you need to be pressing, running miles, like all that energy. Yeah, you need it in abundance. And if you don't, like Samaximan, who was a little bit lazy, didn't run enough, didn't track back, didn't press hard enough, you're gonna be gone. So yeah,
you're out of there.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have paid silly money for that, and that's why Alanga really fits our bill because he does all of that. Like he's got the pace, the speed, energy. He can press, he can run for miles. I think he really, really suits our style.
No, absolutely. I like this comment here by 80s Gamer. The modern Ant deck.
Yeah.
Great content, lads. Cheers. Thanks for that.
Funny enough, it's not the first time we've been told that.
No, it's not. And if ITV are watching, that would be nice.
Any jobs going?
Any jobs, bit of couple million that they're on. That'd be lovely.
I'm a celebrity, 1 extra, something like that.
Is it true, Matt, you're selling TMC for 55 million? There's Andy there.
Everything's up for 55 million.
I'll tell you what, if anyone, again, if someone's going to offer me 55 million, double it. I can take your money.
Yeah.
I'm holding out
plus
for
add-ons, 3 million.
I'm holding out for 100. We want to keep this little thing we've got going here, the podcast. Right then, let's get into this week's topics, since we're just nice to touch on the hot news that's breaking in the last few hours, but onto the ideas we had in mind, and it is out today. Guess what's out today?
£55 million winger.
More clothing ranges from Newcastle United Football Club.
It's going to be one or the other.
I mean, the cost about 55 million. That's the price tag when you go in the shop. Like, what? How much? So, Adidas have released the new training wear. Now, it sent people up the wrong way before the Alanga news. Like, sign some players, stop bringing out stuff. But it's out today. it's online. It's in the stores. It looks very nice. I think we've accommodated Alanga with the training gear. It looks very Swedish. One of them. They've released like 3 different colors already. So one of them is like the blue and yellow.
Blue,
like obviously the Swedish flag and what the Swedish team wear. Alanga and that when they're representing their country. And then you've got the grey and blue one, which is very tasty in my opinion. I do like that one. We see Botman, Jolinton and that modelling it on Monday when the lads are back in training. And then you've also got the coaches range.
Oh.
Do you want to look like Eddie Howe?
Jason Tyndall, sir.
Graham Jones, is it? Black coaching ranges, weight coaching ranges, and big up all the other coaches, Simon and all the rest of them, you know. If you want to look like them, you can get your hands on jackets. Cool. Thought the camera as well. When the tripod took a bit of a knock from my big size 10s. I just whacked it under the table there.
Get your feet in, man.
People will be listening on Spotify like, what are they talking about? Anyways, so if you want to look at the coaches, you want to look at the players, the training wear's out now. Quarter zips, shirts, shorts, jackets, tracksuit bottoms, you name it, they've got it, Keg.
Got it.
We bought a couple of bits last year. We joked before 55 million. It is quite pricey. Like I think it's about 38. I was looking at the shorts. Nice zipped shorts going on holiday soon. That'd be nice. £38
for some collar coats.
For some collar coats, aye. Nice. Vesty, little vesty for the summer months. Training wear, £38.
Okay.
And then obviously the tops 45, the jackets, all the way up to like 85. They are pricey. However, they will be reduced. We mentioned this the other week.
Yeah,
when you go on the training wear section of the Newcastle website, you can scroll along like page 3, and they have got 60% off.
Last season's kits,
60% off last year, so you can get the 85 jacket this year, 60% cheaper. All the rest of it. Last year's shorts, £15. I
was actually looking at them because I could maybe do with some new shorts.
I live in shorts now, me. Like live in shorts.
I wish I was. To be fair, you actually did. You actually have got your collars on today, but I've got my tracksuit bottoms on last season.
Last season's training wear.
Bottoms on.
We're gonna get them. Gonna get them out. 55 million. There you go. You can get them now in blue and grey. You can get them in blue and yellow.
You can, and I'm sweating. So I wish I got the shorts memo.
But I will maybe even honestly. I'll just turn it that as I get older now. Just wearing them all the time. So training wear, do you like it?
I do.
You buying it?
No.
Not until January.
Probably not until January. Like I do like it, to be fair. And I would buy it, but it is just pricey. Just can't really afford that right now. Maybe it's around about Christmas time or when it comes down in value. Might treat myself to bits and bobs, but I don't need a lot. Like I say, I'm still getting good use out of last year's tracky bottoms.
Tracky bees.
I don't need a million pair of tracky bottoms. I don't need them lined up like Chelsea strikers. I've got a couple. I've even got a couple from like previous years that are still in pretty good nick. Like just like I get people's frustrations with like putting money out, but like it is just what it is. That's why I laughed before, because people are saying like, sign somebody, man. Stop fucking releasing training. Well, like we do this every year. Like you know what I mean? Like people put it's merchandise, like it's training wear that always goes on sale every single year. But like I get like people are just getting a bit sick because it's like a lot. But like I say, you don't need to buy it. Like us releasing training wear isn't stopping us signing Anthony Elanga. Like it was gonna come out anyway. But like I say, I get people's frustrations, but I think it's just people being a little bit overboard. You don't need to buy it. It is expensive. You don't need to cop every release, which there is a lot of now with Adidas, which is another thing that people complain about. It's better than just releasing one for the full season than like what we're done under Mike Ashley when it was like Puma or Castoria or whatever. Like Adidas they know how to make money. And if people are daft enough to buy every single release, then you're the ones putting your money into the club and it's fair play. But you don't need to.
It should actually...
No one's forcing you. It's not contractual.
When you say that it's not going to stop with saying Langer, it should actually help because obviously it goes towards FFP, the money. But that's what I think that's one part of it where people where we want to see this now. We want to see these signings come in because we've spent our money on the kits, the re-releases, everything else. That's fair enough, but let's judge that at the end of the window. And thankfully, we are on the verge of signing and sealing the Anthony Elanga deal. So I really like it. I'm going to actually have a look at it tomorrow. The blue and grey one for my holiday. Shorts, maybe the vest, maybe the t-shirt. Have a look at that because I did well in that, Keg. I went and tried on the third shirt. And
you did.
Didn't buy it.
Willpower. You still not
willpower. No, I didn't like it.
2 weeks later.
Didn't like it. Actually, like I've stopped liking it even more.
Oh really?
I thought
I haven't seen it in the flash yet.
On kit launch day, I was like, ooh, actually, and then when I tried it, the shininess, the collar, I kind of get away with the collar and the shiny stripes. I was like, nah, no third kit for me. Maybe the training wear. Let's get on to the juicy stuff. And the thing that everyone's here for is over 600 people locked in. Please do subscribe and like if you haven't already, if you're watching live on YouTube. And big up all the listeners on the podcast, on Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you listen to them. Callum Wilson's gone.
Oh,
Callum Wilson's gone. Our number 9 shirt is up for grabs for now. Talk about that soon. And he left a bit of an emotional farewell, didn't he?
It was emotional. Yeah, it was a bit sad. He's been a great servant for the club. I would argue that he's probably been best number 9 since Shearer left.
Agreed.
I think he's probably scored the most goals, especially in the Premier League. yeah, injuries obviously has hampered his career, and we signed him at about 28 years old. We're getting a few good years out of him. He's like 33 now. So yeah, his career is just kind of coming to an end, and obviously the injuries haven't helped. Obviously, Isaac taking his place hasn't helped him either. He's had to play second fiddle when fit, which has literally been his biggest problem. So yeah, it's just been a shame how his time here has ended these last 2-3 years. But yeah, like a phenomenal servant. Like we paid, it was about 20 million for him under Ashley. Actually, decent money for Mike Ashley signing.
Right, what's this
coming to play for Steve Bruce, which wouldn't have been easy. But yeah, especially in them days, especially during the lockdown days, dark, bleak, horrible days. Brucey, really Ashley, lockdown, horrible,
awful.
And yeah, the football club was dink. The squad was shit. Like half the players were absolute wank. But he was such a shining light. He was the only one that and he took that pressure off Joe Linton as well, because Joe Linton was a club record signing, got the number 9 shirt, asked to play as a striker, which everyone now knows that he wasn't. Wilson coming in, took that pressure off of him and got the number 9 shirt and started slamming in goals as a striker is meant to do. So yeah, happy for him in his next role, whatever it may be. I know that he wanted to stay at the club, but maybe he just didn't like the offer that we were giving him, and or maybe he wanted to try something else in the latter part of his career. Maybe Leeds, who was interested. So yeah, best of luck to him. Yeah, them videos were emotional because you forget some of the good times. I think everyone kind of just remembers the here and now, and they remember him being injury prone and didn't score a goal last season, bar the was it FA Cup against Brighton, Birmingham. He scored 1 goal in the cup last season, none in the Premier League. And he played a fair bit, and he got fit from about November, December time. He missed the first half of the season, but he played loads of games towards the back end, but just didn't score. Don't know if it was a case of being brought on too late, or he was just being asked to kind of hold up and just kind of see the game out. He just wasn't asked to get in amongst and score loads of goals. But yeah, so people just think about the here and now and the latter parts of him not scoring goals and being injured. But when you look back at some of the highlights, you think, fucking hell, man. He was such a good player. So, yeah, you'll live long in the memory. He was a great servant. So, yeah, thank you very, very much for your service, Callum Wilson, and best of luck in the future.
Particularly like the old Macarena dance.
Yeah,
that was good, wasn't it?
Class, yeah.
And some of these goals where the reel came out again, you forget some of the finishes. Outside the box, the top corner one.
The Man City goal, Maximin thread through.
3-3. Yeah, so on his day, listen, brilliant striker, brilliant goal scorer. Yeah. Just obviously unfortunate with injuries.
Scored the first goal of the takeover now, less than 2 minutes in against Tottenham.
And then Brucey
balanced it up. Beat 5-1 or something but it was a good early leads, days after the takeover.
It was. Fair play to Callum Wilson. Good servant for the club, but I think it was the right decision from everyone, really. Unless, like we said in previous shows, where he could have been happy with being 3rd choice, 4th choice, whatever. But, it makes sense for him to maybe try something different in his last couple of years of his footballing career, whether that's Leeds United, which he's heavily linked to, or move abroad, maybe America, Saudi. But Man United could do them, to be fair. They're getting both of them. Like with Calvert-Lewin and Jamie Vardy the day, Man United. Both strikers that have been linked to Newcastle. We'll talk about them names soon. Shout out for the super chat to Roadblock. Hello, lads. Love the channel. What's your take on the lack of legal action from the club and PIF regarding all the shady shite going on around us? What's the shady shit that's going on around us?
Yeah,
What's your take on the lack of legal action from the club?
Answer that question, to be honest.
PIF regarding all the shady shit going on around us. I'm not sure what shade. If you don't have to put another super chat in, Roblox. If you explain what the shady shite is, then we'll answer it, because I'm not sure what shady shite is going on around.
PIF is just shady shite. If that's what you mean, I don't think it's anything against us necessarily. If that's how I'm interpreting the question.
Is it just everyone hating because we're owned by Saudi? Is that what?
I don't know.
I'm not sure on that.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm even getting mixed up with my acronyms. So I'm thinking of FFP.
You're thinking of PSL, you know?
I am. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know how to answer that one.
But anyways, lack of legal action. Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. Yeah. I mean, hopefully we've got to fight back. Unless you're on about the loopholes and not doing stuff and that, then yeah, maybe it's that. But let me know, Roadblock, on what the shady shite is, because I don't know really. Callum Wilson is gone. John Ruddy is staying. Still waiting for an official confirmation of this, I think, aren't we? The club haven't. Yeah. Everyone else has announced it. The local journals and that have said John Ruddy has signed a 1-year extension.
Probably because of the same reason as before. They probably just can't be asked for the heat. Well, we've signed John Ruddy.
Kind of, you don't want that to be your first announcement, do you?
Nah, you don't do. Yeah.
They'll put that out the morning after the Elanga deal, and everyone will be, funny that class, I dress it down, all that sort of stuff. you put it out now.
They're probably technically just holding back on that one.
Right. When you wait all summer for a big sign, or even Elanga 55 million, and all that.
Re-signed your 38-year-old fifth choice goalkeeper to a you want 1 year deal. Just what I wanted to hear.
It's actually wise, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the bloody Twitter admin. Anytime he tweets, no matter what it is, it could be like
he probably just logs off as soon as he posts a tweet. Just log off, like it's alright.
He's not reading that. He's not doing anything. Turn off notifications. Turn off replies. He's just posting and getting on with his day. Because like I see, post a picture of the lads in training. Post a picture of the training shorts. Yeah, get on with it, man. Sign some players, man. Fucking shine this, shine that. So yeah, that's the way that's going to go for them. But John Ruddy is staying. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. He's not going to play. This is an absolute injury crisis. And to be fair, the problem with people saying and complaining is, for me, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter because he's not going to play. Eddie Howe loves him around the place, loves the dressing room. He says he's a great character. He goes to the youth games, the reserve games, offers advice and experience and all of that. So he is essentially like a coach at this point, to be fair.
He is, yeah. Like the kind of thing is, though, like, would he get the same weekly wage, like being listed as a player, as what he would be as a goalkeeper?
I know, that's the thing. Just give a coach deal.
We're still paying him a decent amount of money to essentially be a whatever he is, fourth or maybe his fifth choice striker, depending on who you think's ahead in the pecking order. We've still got Odysseus Vlachodimos and Mark Gillespie as well. Like, I don't know how you would rank them, but he's got to be at fourth or fifth, maybe. Like, so yeah, we've signed like maybe as a fifth choice goalkeeper. Why? To a new deal when we're trying to save money in FFP and whatnot. So I don't even know what he's on. He's got to be on about 20 grand a week or something like that, if not a little bit more, 23, 24 maybe. I don't even know what he's on, but
no, I don't know what he's on.
Yeah, so is it really worth paying essentially a coach like a weekly wage, like that higher wage?
Not for really PSR and FFP, is it?
Like you say, he's never going to play.
No.
There's 3, maybe 4 goalkeepers ahead of him. And we're trying to sign another one. We're trying. I don't know what's going to happen when, because we re-signed Gillespie. He was out of contract in the summer. Re-signed him to a new 1 year deal. So we're getting, we're fourth, fifth, or maybe even sixth choice goalkeepers have both signed new 1 year deals when we're trying to sign another one. What? What's that all about? But I get like the dressing room thing and the leadership and the coaching stuff, and especially if we get like a youngster like Trafford. When we get Trafford in, like, yeah, having someone around like him, like someone with the experience and like his kind of like level of like understanding of the Premier League and whatnot, like could be a good thing, but just hire him as a coach.
One good point, which Blue Rhythm Boy makes, is that he does count for homegrown for the Champions League. So that's the proper Scott Carson special, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Keeping them around.
But saying that,
so does Gillespie, does he not?
Yeah, and probably Pope as well.
All right. And Trafford?
Yeah. Sorry, that doesn't make... I get it.
We get rid of every English player, but just have loads of English goalkeepers. I don't know if like the
academy thing works more, because wasn't Gillespie in our academy?
When he was young, he went to Carlisle.
Yeah, and we've been linked with bringing Fraser Forster back.
Tim Krul.
Oh, Tim Krul, yeah. So, like, are we going to have like 7 goalkeepers if we sign Trafford and either Forster or Krul? Or we're still going to keep these? Like, we need to get rid of Vlachodimos.
I heard he's going to go out on loan.
He has to. Like, he can't.
He wasn't going to buy him. So
exactly. Like, we paid over the odds. Like, even if we got 2 million for him, we paid 20 for him like less than a year ago. Like, I would take £2 million for him just to get rid of him. But then, yeah, like with us others, like if we're saying Trafford, is one of Pope or Dubravka going to want to go?
Dubravka will go, I think. Yeah. I think Vlachodimos will go out on loan and Dubravka will be sold for a
so even like the homegrown thing, it just doesn't make sense when we've already got Gillespie. And we could sign Forster or Krul if we want to do. I just don't get it. No. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, we've got loads of keepers anyways for now. Things could change. Things could change. Players could move on, like we mentioned there. But Ruddy is set to stay, according to the journalists. Still no official announcement by the club. Probably going to come, as we mentioned, after that Elanga announcement.
Once something actually important happens.
Another homegrown player was set to leave, and that is Sean Longstaff. All the reports yesterday, Sky Sports, everything, saying Newcastle are going to agree to sell him to Leeds for £12 million. It's $10 million plus $2 million in add-ons. The player is happy with the move. Personal terms have been agreed. They'll mention how Sean Longstaff wanted to make sure Newcastle got a fee for him, so he was happy to go this summer and not drag his contract down and leave for nothing next year, because obviously This is PR profit for Newcastle.
Yeah,
this is a brilliant business move for PSR and FFP, something we haven't done really, bringing these PR profits. Like, everyone states Chelsea and all the money they spend, but they also do sell.
Mm-hmm.
And they're about to do it again with Madueke, getting 55 million for him, homegrown. That's going to massively. They're going to be able to spend loads because of that, So that's what Newcastle need to do. And Sean Longstaff was the option for that, a midfielder who isn't getting much game time now. He is probably sixth choice. He's probably behind Miley. So he's fifth or sixth choice behind your obvious starters and Tonali and that. So that was the case. Longstaff's meant to be going. However, just before the show started, Martin Hardy has been reporting that they are going to reject the offer, which is Leeds' third offer for Sean Longstaff of 12 million, which is surprising to me. I thought that was a good deal for everyone involved. Apparently, Newcastle were holding out for closer to 15. Leeds have maybe had enough. There's talk that they might walk away from the deal now.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Once you put 3 bids in and you fail, it's time to walk away. And if you feel like you're getting the piss stripped out, you're like us with Gahey.
True.
Yeah, you don't keep going you don't come up to their demands. If they think that he's only worth 12 max and they're trying to strike a deal with putting add-ons in and whatnot, then I just can't see them coming up to 15 million. It's 3 million more for a newly promoted team. It's a lot of money. So I think maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it's I can see them walking away. Like I say, 3 bids and a failure. Look at other options.
Is that the right decision for Newcastle to hold out for more money, or would you have took the 12 million for Sean Longstaff?
I don't know. I'm on both sides of the fence on this one because. For me, I've kind of always defended Longstaff, even a couple of years ago when he was getting loads of stick and people wanting to sell him. I think maybe even when his contract was running out, people were saying, don't give him a new one, just get rid of him, but whatever. I think we had a debate around about a year ago, maybe it's longer ago on this podcast, talking about his transfer value. I rated him a little bit higher than what you did. But I think around about 15's fair.
Same.
But you do think that he is in his last year of his contract. And... like I say, it's pure profit. It goes well against FFP. So are we playing hardball a little bit too hard here? Maybe you don't piss Leeds off unless you think someone else is in the pipeline. Maybe he's Everton or someone's in the pipeline where you think they will pay 15. Maybe if you're trying to hold off for a little bit. I get it. And I think 15 is good. I think 10 to 12, I think we're being a little bit short-handed because I do rate him that highly. But he's in the last year of his contract.
That's it. I think he is worth it.
Yeah, it is.
When you look at the market,
tricky one, isn't it?
You look at the market, you look that he's Premier League proven, you look that he's English. I would say he is worth probably between 15 to 17, something like that. But for the sake of 3 million, when he's in the last year of his deal, if he had 2-3 years left on his contract, I'd definitely demand closer to 20, to be honest. 15 to 20. But you've got to, I think 10 to 15 is about right, really. So in that middle mark of 12 to 30, that's all right with me. I think
if they think Leeds are going to stretch it out and you maybe can squeeze a little bit more out, or you like you say like an Everton or maybe Man United are in the pipeline or something like that, then maybe they're holding off for something better. But trying not to piss Leeds off too much so they don't walk away from it because it's a good business, isn't it?
It is good business. I think it's smart. It works out well. I think it's a good transfer for Sean, just down the road. Good team Leeds. They've got a bit of ambition about them now. They've came back up. Great fans, great history, all the rest of it. Newcastle, he's not going to get a game, really. So, it makes sense. I mean, there was a chat here from Huncho. Do you worry about the depth in midfield?
I was just going to bring that up, actually.
Because if you do let Longstaff go...
yeah, we're a bit shallow, aren't we?
But obviously, I think we would replace him.
We've been linked with some people, but it's more who and... value, what you're going to spend, because some of the names that I've seen would be linked with, I think they cost a canny bit. We're spending 55. Edison. We're going to get loads of other players in, we're going to spend money on Trafford soon, and there's a few others linked. We've just mentioned, we're going to need another striker. We've got a couple of other places where we're going to maybe fill in. We need another centre back, maybe it's 2. So that centre midfield depth does worry me a little bit because there's been links of Willock leaving as well. I think Fulham's reported interest in him.
Yeah.
I think we might end up shooting myself in the foot a little bit, and that's maybe what we're thinking of. Maybe we're going to hold off and look for a replacement to step in just in case, instead of letting them go and then failing in the transfer market later on. We've been linked with loads of people. But it would just be nice to get one of them in before kind of committing to losing like one of our homegrown, because he has been reliable, Sean Longstaff, in the past. Like his squad depth, like he's been there through the highs and lows and got his rewards, scoring against PSG in the Champions League and scoring the winning penalty in the shootout against Forest last year in the Carabao. So yeah, I think it's a shame for him to go. Like it's I don't like these like homegrown boys that like just love the club so much going. But what I also do respect about him is he's doing the same thing that Elliot Anderson done last year, and like he knows that this is going to benefit the club, so he's putting the club first. Like he's prioritizing the club over his own happiness, I suppose. Like he's willing to sacrifice himself, just as Elliot Anderson done, knowing that this is 100% pure profit for us, and it bodes well for us. FFP, he knows he's in the last year of his contract, so he could get fuck all for him next year. So he's like taking one for the team here, literally. Got his fan hat on, looking after the club.
Yeah,
so it's brilliant mentality from Sean Longstaff, and he's another one when he goes, we need to be flying that flag high and wishing him all the best wherever he goes. Like I said last week about Elliot Anderson, like we should always be fans of these people. Like whatever shirt they end up wearing, I want to say nothing but the best for Elliot Anderson and Sean Longstaff. Like for these reasons, like I'll always be fans and supporters of them.
And that's how you do it, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Exactly. That was the next point I was going to make, because he could have signed a new contract or left a year earlier or whatever, but instead, what would Trent have gone for, even if he had 1 year left on his deal?
Can't you bet?
Because I reckon if he had like a few years left, like Liverpool would have held out for about 100 million. Easy. Even 1 year left on his contract, he could still squeeze about 50 million.
50, I reckon.
But he refused to sign the contract or refused to leave with 1 year to go and cost his hometown club nothing. So... yeah, I do think that we need to bring someone else in, and there has been a few mentioned. Who did you say? Edison,
who's been tracked. It's gone back to like Ekitike and Gay.
He's been on the radar for a while.
The Brazilian from Atlanta, so that would be a great move. But again, that's not going to be like a cheap replacement, because when you think of Longstaff leaving, it's a bit of the dilemma with the striker. With these, I could say, well, yes, there's three positions up for grabbing, not just one as a 9. So 3 midfielders there. Are they going to fancy their chances of replacing a Bruno, a Tonali?
I'm not going to lie.
Maybe Joelinton,
no one.
You can't replace these type of players.
No one gets not starting midfield.
Because we've got a perfect balance there.
Yeah,
There's no other player in the world really like Joelinton, to be honest, to his strength and the way he prowesses that position.
Yeah.
Sandro's just an absolute joy of a footballer.
Yeah, he is.
Bruno's got a bit of everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
So... and Edison is going to come in, and obviously you've got Champions League to 10 people now.
Yeah, same as what we were saying before about Isak getting back up striker.
Game time and rotation and all that. So there's that. But he's been linked. You know what would be smart for me, which was a link again, was a Ruben Neves from Al Hilal. You know, if you could finally utilize the bloody Saudi market and actually benefit from the ownership and the transfer side of things. Getting in a Neves, Premier League experience, a bit of an older head, so he's not going to be that horse, probably about starting, playing the 90 minutes every week, playing Champions League, you'd be happy with that. So I think a deal it out would be the smart one to do. Or then we've looked at the lad from Coventry, the young midfielder who's meant to be really good. So there's
another name that have been linked with in the past who is in the exact same boat as Sean Longstaff in terms of PSR as Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah.
So I think he would come in knowing fine well he's probably not going to start, but for me he's an upgrade on Willock.
Yeah.
He's better than Longstaff, he's better than Willock, so he'd be like our next up, like when replacements need to be made, like he'd be the first one in line to get a starting spot for me. Like I think he's a very good player. Could be coming at a cut price deal, like Villa need to sell, got FFP and PSR and all that stuff. Homegrown talent, 100% pure profit.
If they hadn't
done
the women's team sale loophole, they would have definitely had to sell him or other. Douglas Luiz, ex-Villa player, was linked yesterday as well. So I think we will strengthen in that area, especially if we sell Willock as well as Longstaff. Yeah. But at the minute, we just rejected Leeds' offer. So
I've seen, I can't remember, he's a Moroccan lad called Richardson.
From Fiorentina.
Yeah. Amir Richardson. He's been linked. I've seen loads of people on social media talking about him.
I've never heard of him before.
Me neither, but yeah, I was looking him up and looks like a decent young player. I think he's like 22, 23 or something.
Well, maybe that's what you need to learn off, like a Sandro and Bruno.
Maybe won't come in expecting first team football.
Have to be around the place.
Can learn. Like he'll probably be expensive, but not British expensive.
Big 25 million.
Yeah. So I think that would be a pretty good business. Like I like 25 million for like a young up and coming squad midfielder pushing for a start.
Great. Good debate there. Huncho started there on the depth of the midfield. Let me know what you think in the chat. Roblox sent in a super chat following up to the one from before. He was referring to selling hotels, women teams, Premier League teams, blocking our transfers, and general Premier League shithousery from the 6-6, the old 6-6, the big six, doing nouts any good. Completely agree. Listen, I did a rant video the other week on this. I was saying we need that like Chelsea. We need to stop being annoyed at the system and stop beating the system. You know what I mean? We don't want to keep getting... It was when Villa sold that women's team and everyone was going mental and again, this is a joke. It's been a joke for years. Yeah. It's still the same thing. I'm not even angry at Aston Villa doing this now because Chelsea's done it. Other teams will do it.
Yeah. So once one exposes it, like
just do it.
Blueprint's there, isn't it?
I get it. We should be, doing more things in terms of loopholes and being more proactive. I was saying on the podcast last week, sell the stack. Sell the stack to a third-party company. Make a couple $100 million that way. Buy the bloody Sandman Hotel. Sell that ourselves. That's what Chelsea been doing. Selling, like you said there, hotels. They sold the bloody executive car park at Stamford Bridge. They sold that to a third-party company for $100 million. So these sort of things, though, they've been smart. Been smart with it. So I agree that we should be doing more. We should be capitalising more on loopholes and fighting back because, PSR and FFP is an absolute joke. We all know that for sure. Right then, on to... we'll quickly wrap up one on Leeds, to be honest, because they've been linked with Nick Pope. That was yesterday from Sky, saying that they were interested in signing the shot stopper. However, Nick Pope doesn't want to leave, even if and when Trafford or another goalkeeper comes in. He's not interested in leaving Newcastle. He wants to fight for his place, and he wants to be involved in a Champions League campaign once again.
Fair play.
Would that be tempting for you then to sell Nick Pope or keep him around the place? Because for me, with his experience, Trafford nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I would say it's tempting because, as we just mentioned, we're abundance of goalkeepers unnecessarily. Either him or Dubravka is going to have to leave. You'd probably look more towards Dubravka. You'd probably get more money for Pope.
Yeah.
But
you definitely get more money than Dubravka, right?
Yeah. So I think Pope could even come in and start, give Trafford a little bit of leeway. He doesn't need to come in and start straight away because Pope and Dubravka both have that Premier League experience. There's no pressure on Trafford to come in because he's still quite young.
Yeah.
Only had 1 year in the Premier League where he struggled a lot because Burnley's defense was dink. I'm open to Pope leaving, but whether he's going to be a starter or a backup, he's a brilliant goalkeeper. Obviously, his distribution's a bit pants. This is another one. I can say the pros, I can say the cons. I'm not really asked either way. If he goes, then I would say that we need to keep hold of Dubravka, make sure he's my number one for at least the next year or two because he's about 35 or something now. Isn't he? He's kicking on.
Oh, he's getting on.
Yeah. I don't really know. I'm a bit impartial to the Pope links leaving. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. I'm not really that bothered.
No, I think
as long as we get Trafford, obviously.
Otherwise, John Rooney might get again.
Yes. Well, Gillespie might have to get off the couch for once.
Oh, I haven't done that. Religion. But Pope Leeds, I can see, especially why newly promoted teams will want to sign someone like Nick Pope, solid, reliable Premier League goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I hope he stays personally, especially for the first, maybe in January he can go. Just let Trafford bed in, and then if he's not getting much game time, Pope might think, maybe I should leave. Yeah. I could see him leaving in 6 to 12 months if James Trafford does come in.
Yeah.
But for now, I'd keep a hold of him. I'd keep a hold of him. I was just trying to refresh things there to see any latest on Anthony Elanga, but it is the same as about an hour ago where he has passed his medical. Has he passed it or is he taking
completed
it?
I think.
Completed his medical. Completed it, mate. Completed his medical. We'll get it up for you. I'll get it up on my old phone for you to get it right because we're seeing it as well rushing in here. We'll talk about Sunderland in a minute, actually, because that's all we're seeing here. Sunderland signing players for fun. So they're trying to get on our backs, the bloody divvies. Anthony Elanga, about an hour ago now, has completed his medical. So that would, you'd think he was passing. I tell you what, you see the video of him sprinting and everything and how fit he is. So he missed 2 games in 2 years, which is an incredible record. So
if you feel.
I think he'd be already passing it, but it'd be typical Newcastle to feel it. He's currently finalising his paperwork to seal the deal. This one could be announced in the next couple of hours, or who knows, maybe just in the morning. Obviously, Elanga landed yesterday, and he went to training ground. He was in there. The usual first part of medical, second part of day, getting his photos taken with a strip and everything else.
That edit's terrible.
It's an awful
Who made that?
It's AI, that, isn't it?
That's shocking.
Didn't AI special there, it is. It's awful. So medical done. Paperwork getting finalised. Terms were agreed weeks ago. 52 million transfer plus 3 million in add-ons that are apparently hard to achieve.
Yeah.
So Elanga is our joint second highest signing ever, alongside Sandro Tonali.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I seen that report today, and like technically he's third, isn't he? Because like you say, it's 52 million plus 3 million in difficult to achieve add-ons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd still class Tonali as my number 2.
Because everyone's still
sliding in there.
Everyone's still putting the images like, 55 million. Well,
yeah,
it's not really. It is
yet,
52. Unless Newcastle win the Blue Champions League or whatever it is, then yeah, it's not at the minute. So yeah, second, third highest signing. Transfer fee wise for the tune. Eddie Howe has got his right winger eventually. Okay, looks that way anyways. Official announcement very soon. Happy with that deal then?
Yeah, I'm happy because, as I said before, he's the number 1 target, someone that we've chased for a long time. We've gone through all these options of your Kudoses, Maduekes, and whoever else we've been linked with over the past couple of years. Like we've been out for a right winger for donkeys, like even back to when we were talking about Moussa Diaby coming in, and he ended up going to Villa, and he's already left Villa, and he's in Saudi now. Like it just feels like we've been after a right winger for ages. So yeah, buzzing that we've got one in, and the one that the club clearly wanted, the one that they've scouted for ages and put bids in last year, failed. So yeah, buzzing that we've got one man. The talk will be about the transfer fee. There's been mixed debates, I suppose. A lot of people saying that it's worth it. Some people saying that it's not. For me, it just is what it is. Like, say, it's kind of like the going rate. And he had the numbers in the Premier League last year to back it up, like all these others, like Kudoses and Maduekes and everyone else. Like his goal contributions and what he can do at still 23 years old, coming to a manager like Eddie Howe, like, he can only improve. Like, so I think the fee's the fee. You pay for who you want and whatever the club's going to get. It could be good business. I think it's a lot of money. But it was reported just a couple of weeks ago that Forest were demanding nothing less than 60 just to try and hold people off because they didn't want to sell. Like they were trying to like outprice everyone, saying, "Oh yeah, you're not getting them unless you go over the 60 million pound mark," and we've getting them for 52. So it's pretty good business. And I'm probably the wrong person to ask about transfer fees because I'm so fucking out of touch with modern day money. It's just all baffling to me. No one's worth 55 million, but having a look around the modern market and seeing what everyone else is going for, you grumble all you like. It is what it is. Did it come out of your pocket? Unless you bought the training gear.
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to bitch on about transfer fees. I've complained about transfer fees before, and they've paid out well. Like, this is just another one where you've just got to kind of wait and see. Like, it could end up being a bargain if he becomes the player that we thought he is. Like,
I think it will.
Look at the values that we've now got on, like, in Isaac.
Yeah.
And, like, at the time, he had a couple of injuries and not a great goal record in Spain and was spunked 64 million on him. Say, whoa, that's fucking damn it, right? Now, like, we're trying to hold off people by pricing them out for like 200 million. Like, Gordon, I thought was a bit pricey at 40 million. I wasn't really a huge fan of him. Now, he's one of our star players. Then we're trying to quote him for like 100 million plus. Bruno, Botman. I think Tonali was probably worth every single penny. I'm not going to whinge about that. But
after a year, he was.
Yeah, I think
after the Gallon,
I think everyone I've looked at, like from like the takeover, probably past the first window. Like,
Chris Wood?
Yeah, Chris Wood definitely. But yeah, like I think everyone's probably looked overpriced. I would say that I thought Livramento and Lewis Hall were slightly overpriced.
Yeah.
Well, Lewis Hall not even slightly. I fucking thought they were very overpriced.
Lewis Hall was very unproven.
Yeah, for that ages, and Tino was coming off an ACL. Like yeah, for the money that they spent, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money on them kids, like, isn't it? But every single one of them's paid off so far, so I'm in no position to sit and grumble about a transfer fee.
I think honestly, he'll turn out to be a bargain.
Yeah.
I think there's no way he gets worse or doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
I think he'll be perfect for us, perfect for the style of play.
Yeah, he fits, doesn't he?
And I think you'll see what you've seen now with Gordon, where he's linked with 80, 90 million pound moves. I think you'll see that with Elanga in a couple of years' time. I really do. And that front three is just terrifying.
It really is, isn't it?
Frighteningly quick,
the
isn't it?
Speed and even like when you look at like backup options like Barnes and Murphy, like how many goals did they score between them last season? Like Barnes got like 9 goals. Like he ended up taking over Gordon's spot. Gordon couldn't even get his place back after his injury and suspension.
No. Like
Barnes ended the season mint. Obviously Murphy had the season of his life. So now we've got some actually really good depth. But I like to say that speed of Isaac Elanga and Gordon. That's horrible, that leg, isn't it?
It's class. Horrible for defenders, class for us. Quickly on the Mackems, because this is all the breaking news now. I thought this was about Alanga, but it's Keith bringing out videos of Simon Adingra clinching his move to Sunderland, 20.5 million from Brighton. So even Sunderland, I think they've had about 6 or 7 signings. Well,
but they're all like 20, 30
they're
million
all
plus,
money. That's why they're all getting
fees.
buzzing, aren't they? Obviously, selling Job would have helped. Obviously, the massive money you get for winning the playoff final as well, don't you? Get big money for that.
True, yeah.
So, they're splashing the cash. Has that got you thinking that they might have a chance? I think Man United fans are worried that there might be more of a relegation battle next year.
Well, you know, it is like you kind of assume, especially after the last 2 seasons, where both in both of the last 2 seasons, the 3 teams that have came up have just gone straight back down. And I think with FFP and PSR, like it's making life harder on these clubs, and I feel sorry for them. But yeah, I mean, they're making some decent signings. I mean, I don't know all of them, to be honest with you.
I don't know hardly any of them.
I don't really think. I think apart from
Adingra, the left back yesterday was from Atletico.
Like it's not really worrying us at all. Like fair play for them to try and stay up, but this has happened in the past where like newly promoted teams will like probably like reinvigorate their squad. And sometimes I think it's a bit too much. Like I think it's shown lack of loyalty to the ones that got you promoted, but then it's also like cohesion and stuff. Like people like, especially like foreigners, like most of them are like African or French or whatever it is. Like a lot of them might not know English.
Do you know where Sunderland is?
Probably never heard of Sunderland. Probably fucking freezing. Didn't understand the language or the accent. But yeah, like team cohesion and stuff. Like these lads don't know each other. They've got like a summer to get used to each other, understand like the style of the manager and like how they want to play, like the team's culture, like say like the language and all that. Like it's a lot when you try and like bring so many people in one window. But yeah, sometimes newly promoted teams need to do that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it falls flat on their face. Like sometimes you spend far too much money and you just end up going straight back down because these players don't know each other. So
it's a risk, like
it is a big risk.
But they've got to take that risk.
They've got to,
I know what you're saying about like not rewarding the players that brought them up, but that was very much
squad was shit.
Championship team, championship
at
team.
best.
So they are going to have to make a lot of signings. They're doing that. They are spending probably more money than a lot of people thought. Like we just said, you know, a lot of the fees are your 20s, your 30 millions and stuff.
After a couple of after the first 2 or something, I was like, oh, sure, they can't have too much money left. But it's like they're just like every 2 hours, let's break it in. Oh, someone's going to sign this. I'm like,
it's mad, isn't it?
It's money. It's mad.
They're the only ones making moves, but I'm not worried about them. I'm still excited for an easy 6 points next season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Romano's actually just came out. Well, we're just talking about Alanga there. He said the deal is now complete. It's just the announcement that remains. So everything has been exchanged between the 2 clubs. The documents have been signed. The medical is being passed, and the deal is done. So literally any minute now, might be a 7 p.m. special release from Newcastle on the hour. Could be 8, could be 9, could be tomorrow morning.
I reckon it'll be Friday.
Friday? What are we in that long for?
Well, when was the last time that we made like a quick announcement?
That's a good point,
Every time we sign someone, it takes fucking ages. Like, where's their sign? And everyone's like refreshing their phone all the time because once like they sign the deal, they've got to do all the media shit, haven't they? Like they've got to do the exclusive interview, so they've got to edit the YouTube video, get that up. Then like all the photography pictures, you'll do pictures all around the stadium, probably in the training ground.
Away scarf,
home shirt, away shirt, scarf with Eddie Howe, solo pictures, poses, training wear in the dressing room, in the stadium, like in the dugout, everywhere. Like, and then they've got to like edit these and get the social media post preps. Like it takes fucking ages, doesn't it? Like unnecessarily long. So yeah, it should be tomorrow, I would say. Like we're not gonna get that announcement tonight if it's just coming through that the deal's done now. I still reckon it'll be like midday Friday is my prediction.
Midday Friday,
yeah. And all day tomorrow, everyone's gonna be whinging, refreshing their phones. Same shit as always. Like, he's failed his medical.
Game over. KF out. Right, let's get on to this podcast. It's flying over and there's nearly 700 people watching live, so please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. We're going to get on to the striker options now, the targets that have been revealed. These are according to several sources, especially the Mail last night. Hope did an article on these 2 names that really caught the eye, though. Visser of Brentford and Watkins of Villa are both names that have been mentioned in the past fortnight at St. James's Park. Boardroom level, they've been discussing backup options, Callum Wilson's replacement, if you like. Before we get on to some other names that have been doing the rounds. He likes the Calvert-Lewin and that. We'll talk about these two because these are fresh. I haven't actually talked about these on a video yet. Vissa, for me, would be unreal.
Yeah, that would be
unreal.
Sexy, that,
I would absolutely love this signing. And he's 28, banging in goals for fun at Brentford. Got a great record there. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. So there's talks that he could be available for a cut price fee of around 20 million.
Woo!
Steal that right now and get it done.
Absolutely. Didn't he have like 18 goals last season or something like that?
Yeah, he did. We're going to get his stats up, but he's...
Yeah, I think he's about 28 now, isn't he? Like 27, 28.
He's 28
like,
now, yeah.
His experience, like some people might complain that that's too old and not like Newcastle's like style. Like, well, they prefer like the younger lads, like the Arolangas, 23, 24, something like that.
Don't care. Isaac's there. Sula's there.
Yeah.
Premier League proven.
Premier League proven. Got loads of goals. Yeah. 19 goals and 4 assists last season.
For Brentford.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Brentford.
And everyone thought that they'd probably get relegated and wouldn't score goals once they sold Tony, but him and Mbeumo were just absolutely sensational.
Remember, a lot of Mbeumo's goals are penalties as well. Vissa's all at open play. You know what I mean? Tottenham now linked with them in the past 3 hours according to BBC, so if we're not quick, we're going to miss out.
Yeah, 20 million would be stupid. Like.
I'll tell you what, Tottenham are getting kudos. If they got Vissa as well.
Oh, nice.
They're starting to cook a little bit there, you know. Starting to cook a little bit, so we don't want to miss out. I think Johan Vissa would be brilliant money.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
He does show a bit of versatility.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what Eddie Howe really likes about him as well.
Wide,
Play out wide. So, honestly, bring Vissa at the tune. I would love it.
100%.
Honestly, I'm really excited by it, saying I think it's just perfect for the Isak backup. But like we said at the start of the show, it's not necessarily just a backup because he will start games. He will play in Europe. We are going to have loads of matches. So you need someone. If Isak gets injured, say if Isak got injured in December, you've got 6 Premier League games, you're playing the Mackems, you've got a Champions League away day, the FA Cup starting in January. Isak's out for 2 months. Who you turning to? At the minute, it'll be a Sula. Or you'd be playing Gordon down the middle. All that kind of crap that never works. So if you got into Vissa, I'd be confident. I'd be like, I'm lost. Good. You'd be, it's Isak's injured. Well,
good pace, good finisher.
Yeah. I think it'd be a perfect move, honestly. And especially if it is 20-odd million.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
Nothing in this day and age.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Nothing in this day and age. Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa, 29. Linked with Man United. Obviously, he's been linked with Arsenal. They only signed him back in January, didn't they? Apparently, Villa still won around 40, 50 million for him. Who's got 3 years, I think, left on his deal. Unlike Vissa, though, I think Watkins wouldn't be up for it as much for battling it out for positions. I think Watkins would want to come, want the number 9 shirt, be the main guy. He started falling out with people at Villa when John Duran was taking his place, wasn't he? So for me, I think that one's unrealistic. I don't think Watkins would be keen to battle it out with Isak, and I don't think we would pay anywhere near the fee that Aston Villa would demand. And he's a little bit older, 1 year older than Vissa, touching 30 now, 29.
Yeah, I think it'd be a brilliant signing. Honestly, I am a really big fan of him. The prospect of him being number 2,
brilliant,
is frightening. Like I think he scored that goal in the semis in the Euros in the summer.
Against
got through to the final. Yeah.
16 goals, 8 assists last year.
Yeah, he's constantly getting double figures, pushing 20 goals for the last 3-4 seasons. Like he's a clinical goal scorer. I'd absolutely love him. Like I say, even at a bit of a cut price deal, 40, because they were knocking back bids of 80, 90, was it even in January? Just January gone.
60 million they knocked back from Arsenal, I think, wasn't it, in January?
But you're right in saying that he didn't like Duran being there, caused a few eruptions, fighting for a number 1 spot. He knows he wouldn't be number 1 here, but that being said, as we've mentioned a couple of times, you're gonna get minutes, even if you're classed as the number 2, you're still gonna get loads of minutes. You can replace Isak if and when he's gonna get injured. He's 29 now as well. Your knee spring chicken, my friend.
No, not in this game. Not spring chicken in this game. Not for a striker as well.
Yeah, and he's just had a pretty good season in the Champions League. Villa don't have that now. So come to Newcastle and you'll be back in the Champions League.
Yeah. Back in the big nights, Bayern Munich and that.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money for someone of now that age. It's pushing 30. Are we really gonna spend £40 million on an almost 30-year-old backup striker?
Can't see it myself.
It's a lot, isn't it? So I think Vissa's a better option, especially if he's only gonna cost about 20.
Cheaper, a little bit younger, but probably easier to have. Like you said, Watkins is a proven goal scorer in this league, so it would be a great option.
I'm a big fan,
great option, but I just can't see it really materializing.
And especially other teams where big 6 teams
Man
have been
United,
linked with him, Man United are after him, and I think
could see that one,
Arsenal could maybe go back in for him as well if the
Gyökeres
deal doesn't go through, which I think it probably will. But I think Man United might be a good move, or just stay at Villa.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not sure why.
A good team, like they're in Europe at least.
Not sure why he's trying. Maybe it's the FFP thing, and maybe he wants. Yeah, but obviously it's a World Cup year as well coming up, so you'll want game time. You want to be in that squad. And Thomas Tuchel's thoughts. Calvert-Lewin is a name that's been linked. Obviously, free agent. Talked about him the other day. I did on Monday, was it, when the came out Talk Sports in? We had fresh talks with Calvert-Lewin. Eddie Howard mayors him for a long time now. Bit of outrage online over this one because of the Callum Wilson stuff. People are saying you just replace an injury-prone striker with an injury-prone striker. 3 goals, 1 assist last year for Calvert-Lewin. The stats of
26 matches.
On great 26 matches, yeah. So, I mean, my feelings clear the day. I don't know if you've seen it, but just what are you thinking?
Probably the same as everyone else. Like, not overwhelmed by it. If anything, underwhelmed by it.
It is underwhelming, isn't it?
It is, but if it goes through, I mean, it is what it is. Like, he's another one of them Premier League proven. He's experienced. Yeah, like same as Wilson. Like, he's got injury problems, and as of late, he hasn't been scoring goals a lot. Like, even when played, like I say, he got 3 goals last year in 26 matches. It's not great. How old is he now?
Calvert-Lewin, he's 28.
28. Yeah. He'd be one of them. Like I said before, we could even maybe do with 2 now Wilson's gone, because like Asula's a bit more of like he's been pushed out, any like as a bit of a right winger. Asula, he doesn't really play directly down the middle anymore, does he? So yeah, like in an ideal world, Visser and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin 3rd choice, Visser number 2.
That'll be perfect.
I'd take that.
I'd be happy with that.
For a free as well. I'd take that, because we could do with some depth, because it only takes another injury and then down Schitt's Creek. Like we've been down that way before. As they've tried Gordon down the middle, that never worked because both Isak and Wilson were both out injured. So your main guy gets injured, you're heavily relying on one more. If he gets injured, you're down Schitt's Creek without a paddle. So if that was the case, if Isak got injured, Visser got injured, you've got 28-year-old experience, Calvert-Lewin, you can do your job.
I don't disagree with that. I like it. I mean, the problem being is the underwhelming part where you're saying is if he was just second choice like Wilson was.
Yeah.
When you think of like
on paper,
how I just mentioned there, wouldn't be bothered if Isak got injured and Visser stepped up, or even Watkins for that matter. But if you were playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League and then
you got Calvert-Lewin starting, it's not a great look.
I ain't going to Germany. I'm not going to Germany for that. You think I'm flying to Munich?
Nowhere near Berlin.
To see Calvert-Lewin leading the line. Oh, no. But all the news, when you put Calvert-Lewin's name in,
Man United.
Is Man United. Man United to pay a substantial sign on for you to sign Calvert-Lewin. Man United to begin talks. Man United would agree Calvert-Lewin deal. You can have him. Have him. Leave the door open for us to get Watkins or Visser. Thank you very much. We'll take that. Just check to see no super chat training came through. Nah, we're all good there. Shout out everyone that's still locked in after an hour. Going through the striker targets now that have been linked to replace Callum Wilson. This is one, Keg. Yeah, Man United were actually linked to him the day as well.
They've literally been linked with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson, and this one that you're about to mention, which is absolutely mental considering this is the great and powerful Manchester United. And they're looking at these 3 players. My God in heaven, how the mighty have fallen.
We're talking there about, Watkins 29, touching 30. This man that I'm about to mention is touching 40 years old, right? He is 38 years of age. He's also a free, isn't he? Because he left his club.
He is, yeah. It's Demba Ba.
Oh, it may as well be.
Nah.
I have him. However, this man here, suspense here, get your guesses in the comments, suspense, keeping it going, did get more goals than your Calvert-Lewin last year. 9 goals.
4 assists.
35 matches.
Not bad. For a 38-year-old. They got relegated.
Jamie Vardy.
Vards. We're having a party.
Jamie Vardy's having a party on the big market, is he? He's linked with a tune? Oh, dear me. No, don't fancy this one myself, personally.
You know what, again, like exactly just what I said before about Calvert-Lewin. If he was like our 3rd choice, he's still got pace for 38-year-old. And like you say, he scored 9 goals in a team that couldn't score goals last year. Like, was it when we played them? Like, they were on some kind of record of not scoring a goal in like 7 games or something mad like that. Like, he can still score. And I think he was injured a fair bit. Like, he can still score goals in the Premier League. He's very proven. Like, he's got England caps. So much experience that he should probably retire, especially after all the Red Bulls that he drinks.
Well, they're keeping him going.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, me.
But for the pace that he's got and like the eye for goal, the experience and stuff. If he was a third choice striker,
third choice,
him, right?
Yeah, third
why
choice.
not for a year just to see we're through this Champions League campaign? 1 year contract, why not?
Play him in the FA Cup. He's won it.
Exactly.
You know what it is? That 9 goals, nearly double figures at 38 for really, really bad Leicester team that were relegated from bloody week 2. Like, that isn't actually bad.
It's not bad. Yeah.
So I'm with you. Sign this for 20-odd million.
Yeah, just get one of these old guys. Is Vardy Wilson back? Whatever.
Is Vardy homegrown?
Whoever Man United do sign, we'll just get one of the others.
Yeah.
Fine. Get Visa, put a 20 million bid in for Visa, and then just wait until before the season starts and say, any of these guys just still floating around? Jamie Vardy? Yeah, so do you want to come to do now? Wait.
Is Jimmy Vardy homegrown as well? I'll take a bucket. Get Riverkeeper and bring in Vardy. Do you know what I mean? We're good talking the homegrown rule. Another one that is on the list, and this one I would be in favour of as well. And it goes back to what I mentioned earlier about the Saudi market, getting someone in on loan. This is a cheap option, which would help us out. It is Alexander Mitrovic.
Ooh,
bring
Mitro's
back
on fire.
Mitro. Mitro's on fire. Yeah, bring him back. He's 30. So, but again, second, third choice striker. Unit, learned now, came to Newcastle ages ago, far too young, far too inexperienced, far too soon. Really good at Fulham. Mental. Really good at Fulham, though. Good in Saudi Arabia. Just nice little loan. Even if it's just a short-term fix, bring him in for a 12-month loan, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Champions League, bring him in. Obviously, he's on massive wages at the minute. Everybody is in Saudi Arabia.
Which we're paying for anyway.
Just stop the blue colours at Al Hilal and put him in the black and white. Again. Would that be a shout for you, or would you rather focus on those Premier League proven ones that we mentioned? Because Mitro wouldn't be third choice, so he'd probably want to be second. I think it's 30 though. Don't know,
yeah, he's still a decent age, isn't he?
And
you say he is still Premier League proven.
Mm-hmm.
He's clinical in the Championship, scored loads of goals. Like he's still done it in the Premier League for Newcastle and Fulham.
Yeah,
not a terrible option. Like, if PIF's paying his wages anyway, like they're 12-month loan.
Help us out.
Why not?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Not the worst shout.
Marcus Rashford.
No.
Linked with a loan.
No.
Barcelona maybe. Not feeling it.
No.
I think it's unrealistic. The wages are stupid.
It is, yeah. He'll demand wages. Like I think he's just gone downhill. Like I think his attitude and everything since
stinks.
I think his attitude does stink since not being the main man anymore. And he probably plays better on the left anyway.
Yeah, he does.
I don't see him as a number 9 anymore. Like I used to think like he could have been a proper good number 9 when he first broke through at Man United at like 16 or 17 or whatever he was. He's scoring goals for fun in his early days. Like I thought he'd be a proper good number 9, and they kept trying him on the left. I was like, no, you need to play him down the middle. Like I think you should like play him as a striker. Stop trying to fucking put him on the left just because he's fast. But yeah, it's probably where he's best. He had a decent loan spell at Villa last year. Like he's a decent loan option. I don't know what kind of wages Villa were paying now and what like the split was with Man United.
50-50, I think, or 70-30.
But he's on about 300 or 350 grand or something garage. Like even half of that. I'm not paying that. Like no chance.
Even half of his wages is more than what everyone pretty much gets at Newcastle.
Decent young. He's still quite young. Like it feels like he's been around forever. But like I say, he came through at 16, 17, so he's still relatively young. English Premier League experience, but I just kind of get away with it. No, not really feeling that one.
A couple of shouts from the people in the comments. Rodrigo Munez of Fulham, he was linked at the start of the window, wasn't he? Did a video on him. I'd like that. I think that's a solid option. Yeah. Premier League proven, decent striker, Brazilian. Room for improvement. I like the Munez shout. Wouldn't be too pricey either, probably not.
I don't know. I was just thinking that. I don't know.
Or would Fulham just demand the crazy money?
I think they would. He's a good player, and I think Fulham would kind of hold a ransom to him there.
Yeah, maybe that's why it didn't really materialise any more further talks. Marcus, who's a member, would say I would take Vardy. Fair enough. There was another name. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to mention. Ferguson of Brighton. A couple of shouts for him, Jake in particular. 20 years old, could learn a lot from Isaac.
Still only 20, is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he scored a hat against us when he was like 18.
He did, then got injured, never played again.
Then went to West Ham on loan and just never seen him play for them. I totally forgot he went to West Ham on loan now. I seen that the other day and I was like, I totally forgot about that.
Done really well.
So there you go. Could we maybe offer him a loan? Cheap option there. Give him a little sniff. Sesko, obviously that would be a lot of money, wouldn't it? To Arsenal after. Any other shouts? Any other name suggestions? Or shall we move on?
I mean, we could be here all day. Like, I just feel like every time like you open Twitter or something, well, like with someone. So like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just move on. Yeah, there's another name on there.
Smodix, yeah, from Blackburn. Is it Coventry one of the team we played for?
Ipswich.
There we go. Aye, Ipswich.
He signed last summer from Blackburn.
Aye. So he didn't really. Well, it's hard to do it. Ipswich taking it.
Yeah.
It would be okay.
He'd be another one that I'd be okay with being like a third choice, but I think he'd probably want more. I think he'd probably be happier in the Championship or at like a struggling Premier League team like he was, because he bang goes in for Blackburn.
Yeah,
he's clinical in the Championship. Then came up to the Premier League, got his Premier League move, came up with Ipswich, spent I don't think it was a lot of money, to be fair. But he still scored some goals, and obviously Liam Delap was their main man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's another not bad option. Is like a third choice, but yeah, I just don't think he'd want to do that unless he's one of them players like a Scott Carson type who would just be happy to come for the money, play for Newcastle, get League Cup medals and play in the Champions League and whatever else, like just kind of being in and around the squad, like your Mark Gillespie's. Him and Mark Gillespie just get on the piss every weekend, be class. Yeah, I just don't think that would be him. I think he'd rather play and score goals in the Championship than just kind of rot on our bench for a couple of years with Mark Gillespie. But yeah, I think he'd be a decent option as a third choice striker. I'm fan of him, mate. I think he's a good player.
All right. Well, I would pick Visser out of that list that we mentioned.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Visser, yeah, definitely.
Visser's for the win.
I think just for the goals, his age, the value. Obviously, all the other ones are pure has-beens, like just dead things. Yeah, they would take reluctantly as a third choice if possible. Watkins is probably unrealistic. Smodits maybe, but again, probably third choice. Rashford can do whatever he wants.
It's gotta be Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I think definitely. We're definitely signing Calvert-Lewin.
We are.
Definitely.
We are.
Like I say, 100%. If we're signing Visser and Calvert-Lewin, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I'll be really happy with that.
Really good. Yeah. One striker we've already got, obviously, is young Will Asula. Probably should call him forward, like you mentioned before, okay, because Howe seems to want to put him out on the right. Conflicting reports on this one, because yesterday, Keith Downey said that he would be potentially going out on loan next year. However, Craig Hope then came out and said he's going to be learning and staying in development at Newcastle. So what could you see happening? Do you think Asula would be available for loan?
I think it would be good for him because, yeah, like he's not going to get loads of game time, and especially if we are looking at another striker, like even like we just said, we could even potentially sign two. Like he's going to be in a battle to even be second choice. If the right wing is his position, he's going to be third choice. So he's going to end up down in the pecking order, unfortunately. But he is a young, upcoming talent. Like towards the back end of the season, I think he needs to have a really good preseason.
Yeah, he does.
He needs to really like make a name for himself, and whatever he's doing, whether he's on the wing or up front, he needs to score goals, or he needs to be good on the wing, getting some crosses in, like looking really, really sharp to be in with a chance of really getting some first team minutes. That's why I think a loan would be good. But he's a really, really good character in the dressing room, and the players love him. Like he's just one of them characters where everyone wants to go for a party. Like, bring Jamie Vardy in. Vardy and Asula doing the big mark. It'll be class. Like obviously doing dances with Alanga like a week or two ago. Like
Agent Asula.
Yeah, he's just a brilliant character, and like Eddie Howe likes his characters. I think he links the dressing room quite well. I think everyone likes and respects him as a person. But yeah, he's coming up as a player, isn't he? Like, so I don't know. Like, this is one where I'm on the fence. I can see benefits of both. I can see the benefits of a maybe going to the Championship or a lower end Premier League team, getting some experience, or staying and learning and growing with Eddie Howe and keeping them like under Eddie Howe's watchful eye and JT with Isaac and Alanga and Jacob Murphy and people like that to like learn off. So yeah, I can see the benefits of both really. I don't really know which option I would prefer.
Alanga would be good, wouldn't he? He'd be dancing partner left him. He just saying,
I'd be raging.
I think I would keep him melee because the loan thing. He's not exactly like as young as we think. I've just said young there because you think he's like 19, but he's only 22, 23. So we need to see him kick on. I think it will depend on what he does in preseason, how much game time he gets, how he does when he does get that game time. If he's impressing on the pitch, Eddie Howe will think, right, we'll keep him. I've got a feeling he is trying to mould him into that right winger where he's looking at maybe, obviously we've got Langer now, but competition for that. So when Jacob Murphy, obviously he's in his 30s now, maybe the future going forward 2 years' time, it is Sulo and Elanga batting out for right wing. But as a forward, we've seen it against Ipswich, good header.
Yeah.
So you'll get more chances next season with the amount of matches we've got. So I'd keep him about the place to learn off. Tyndall Howe, like you mentioned, be at the club, be at the ground, be there with his teammates, the chemistry in the dressing room, all the rest of it. Unless we did end up going out and getting Visser and Calvert-Lewin to a couple of strikers, then you probably would think, you can send him out on loan. But at the minute, I would keep a hold of him. Keep him at the tune. Right then, everyone, let's finish off on James Trafford. This will be the last topic, but quickly I'll mention this from Simon, who's got a charity shirt competition on the go. He says, can you mention our charity shirt? Sign Newcastle shirt to your audience. It is 70% sold, hoping to raise £4,000 for mental health. The shirt is on Border Competition Facebook, 20p a ticket. So you can go ahead and check that out. What Simon's mentioning there for a good cause, mental health, Sign Newcastle shirt, 70% sold out. Well done, Simon, for sorting that out. James Trafford, then, will that get sorted out? It's been absolutely ages. We've been trying to get this done. We're talking about him this time last year on the podcast. We're meant to be signing him. It's dragged out. He wants to move. Burnley are holding out for more money. We can't really be too hypocritical because we've talked about how we are seemingly holding out for more money for Sean Longstaff. So
I get it.
The club values the player at what? Then that's it. They want north of 30 million. Newcastle don't want to pay that much. The valuation is apparently £8 to £10 million a pot. So will there be a solution on this one, Keg? The reports last night were saying that it will be sorted this week or in the next week. One way or another. James Trafford will be coming, or they would have moved on. They would have walked away from the deal.
Yeah, I think it'll get done. Same reason as we were talking about before. Like, we've been targeting him for ages. Like, he's clearly been identified as a top target. We've already scouted him and put bids in the past. I think we'll pay the money. Last I heard, they were wanting more than 30.
Yeah. 40 at the start.
But I was going to say, just a couple of weeks ago, they were saying 40. So it could be the same thing with Elanga, where I mentioned before. Not too long ago, Nottingham Forest said that they wouldn't even consider anything less than 60 because they were trying to outprice people. And then we got them for a little bit cheaper. So even if we got somewhere between the kind of 30 to 35 million mark and save ourselves paying all the way up to 40, maybe it's 32 plus a couple of add-ons, I think it'd be good business.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to take a little bit because obviously I get Burnley don't want to sell him. He's a really good goalkeeper. He done really well for them last year, but they've already signed someone.
Yeah,
they might already have his replacement lined up. So I think they know they're going to lose him. So it could just be a waiting game. I think we're going to wait for the big 2 new announcements, or maybe 3 announcements before this gets done. So we're going to be announcing Elanga. We're going to announce John Ruddy, and we're going to announce no training kit. So once all that gets done, James Trafford is coming to the tune.
James Trafford will be here in 4 weeks' time then. Once we get all that done. I agree. I think the fee will be matched. It will be around 30 million. Maybe high in some of these add-ons that are hard to reach.
So.
Hard to reach add-ons like Elanga deal. Hey, not 3-4 million if Newcastle win the treble. Whatever it is. I think Trafford, he seemed destined for the tune, didn't he? But we'll wait and see. Obviously, if not, we'll have to move on to other goalkeeping targets. But looks like
that's the one he wants.
Holding new training shorts. Trafford will be wearing them soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. That'll do for this week's episode of the Magpie Channel podcast. Thanks to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us. You can get your new War beer cans on their website, or in Phoenix and other stores have them stocked up as well. Cheers, guys. Pleasure, mate. Nice. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday, once again. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give it a like and enjoy yourself.